Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and you're watching the Panvita Roy. Today's topic is basically USA and UK's contribution and their comparison in the field of geography. Okay, let's get started. So I have divided my PPT into three part. In the first part, I will talk about the USA contribution in the field of geography, and in the second part, I will talk about the UK's contribution. And lastly, I will discuss about the comparison among their contribution. So let's get started. Yes, now we will talk about the US contribution in the field of geography. Okay, so there's a three basically geographers who not three exactly. There's a lot of American geographers who contributed in the field of geography. One of them is Mark Jefferson. Mark Jefferson was an American geographer, of course, who lived from 1863 to 1949. He is known for his contribution to the field of geography, particularly in the areas of cartography and land surveying. So, on the nature of geography, Mark Jefferson, he basically gave the concept of primate society, a city. Primate city, what is primate city means, in a simple example, if we say, um, it is the prime city of a state or of a country. It's the prime, the populous country. Okay, the populous city, the population of that city is much higher. For example, let's take an example from India. Okay, Kolkata, Delhi. We know West Bengal because of Kolkata. Okay, we know India. The foreign peoples know India because of the Delhi. Delhi is the capital city of India. So he basically gave the concept of primicity, where there should be a high population growth, low per capita income, small territory, colonial history. Like in Kolkata, it was back in ancient time. It was Calcutta. So that's how it is. Now we'll talk about the Ellsworth Huntington. So basically, Ellsworth Huntington was an American geographer who lived from 1876 to 1947. He was a professor of geography at Yale University and is known for his research on climate and civilization. He believed that climate was a major factor in determining the success or failure of a civilization. Next, he basically talked about environmental deterministic. Okay, what is environmental deterministic? It means that climate and humans in relationships, how it works, how it is. He basically talks about these things, that the interaction between the human and environment, but also he said that nature is superior than humans. So he basically gave the climatic determinism concept. Now we'll talk about Carlos Soyer. Carlos Soyer was an American geographer who lived from 1889 to 1975. He's widely considered to be one of the most important and influential geographers of the 20th century. He has impacted on development of cultural geography. His research focused on human environment interaction and the way in which culture shapes the landscape. So basically, he gave a objective approach. He said that the landscape, how particular geomorphology is based on the civilization. For example, Harappa civilization is happened due to the presence of river, due to the water resource. So environment is very crucial for the existence of humans. So he basically gave the objective approach. Now we'll talk about the UK's contribution in the field of geography. Okay, there are a lot of contribution by the United Kingdoms, but we will talk about majorly three geographers and who contributed more than the rest. So one we'll talk about the George Everest. George Everest was survivor who served as the Survivor General of India from 1830 to 1843. Now his contribution is not that much, but he generally gave the measured the meridional arc of 11.5 degree from the Himalayas to Cape Cameroon, the southern most point of the Indian subcontinent. And he also, because of his name, it was connection with the mountain which bears his name, George Everest, which is Mount Everest in the name of it. So yeah, this is the small list of his contribution, not like wild or any significant approach is there or a significant concept he gave, but he did something for the geography of India specifically. Now we'll talk about David Harvey. He's a British Marxist geographer and social theorist. He is known for his work on the political economy of urbanization, social justice, and the relationship between capitalistic and cultural. So basically, he is a professor of anthropology and geography at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. Let's see what was his contribution then. Okay, so basically he supported the Marxist geography. Marxist geography, we all know about it. I will not go on detail. If you want some detail, then I will link down the link in the description box. You can go check. And he basically gave the quantitative revolution in geography and critical geography, economic anthropology, political anthropology, and also he talked about right to the city, time, space, compression, accumulation by disposition. So he basically talked about these things. Now we'll talk about Thomas Griffith Taylor, 1980 to 1963. He was a British Australian geographer who lived from 1880 to 1963. He was known for his contribution to polar exploration and his work in human geography, particularly in the area of urban planning and regional development. He was a member of several expeditions to Antarctica and was appointed professor of geography at the University of Chicago in 1928. If there is a theory, we don't have to write all these things. We just have to write few things like who lived from 1880 to 1963 or some like bullet points. Okay, we don't have to extend our answer this much. We can only write a few sentences which we like. Okay. Next, he talked about stop and go determinism, which is also known as neo determinism. Okay, and he was basically thought geography as a scientific approach, and also he was a leader of the successful geological team responsible for the first maps and geological interpretation of significant areas of Antarctica. He was basically an explorer. He loves to explore, and that's why he made maps of certain unknown lands like Antarctica or such things. Then the main objective is improving economic efficiency, especially labor productive. And he also talked about the science, harmony, cooperation, development of every person to his greatest efficiency. Now, at the end, we will talk about the comparison between their contribution, the US and the UK's. Okay, so let's get started. So, the introduction to geography in the USA and UK is that despite similarities, there's differ in focus, research, and methodology. USA basically emphasizes on the physical geography, but UK emphasizes human geography. As we see that US basically talks about the physical geography, but UK talks about the human nature, human how human existed. Okay, that's how they talked, and yeah. So the contribution of USA to geography is that they established the first geography department at the University of California. Development of Geographic Information System (GIS) developed by USAs. Then contribution to the study of human environment interaction through research on urbanization and environmental change. Contribution of UK's are that development of modern geography as a field of survey. They basically developed the geography to the modern, the gave a depth to the geography. There should be a survey, there should be exploring, like we talked about the Griffith Taylor. He was an explorer. We in geography we need to explore certain areas, so that's why. Establishment of the Royal Geographical Society. Yeah. Premiering a work in mapping and exploration of previously unknown territories. As we got to know, Griffith Taylor works on the Antarctica with his team and provides a first map of the certain areas of Antarctica. So that's unknown territory, of course. Then the comparison of contribution between them is both USA and UK have made significant contribution to the field of geography. The USA has gave the first remote sensing technologies to the geography to learn about Earth, and UK is rich in tradition in cartography and physical geography, research, study area, and survey. These things. These are the contribution of each of them. Now, the future of geography in USA and UK is that they have a unique contribution in the geography field, but the future is how to shape the world, how world is, how Earth works, how people work, how human and environment interaction is there. So future gonna be interesting, and I hope so. There will be some robots with us. I feel like that. So thank you for exploring the USA and UK's contribution to geography with me today. Thank you. Bye. I hope you like. If you like, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Lots of love.